Hi guys! So the last video today I wanted to show you my makeup palette collection. I store them in this little office storage thing, and I don't have a lot of palettes, but I feel like I have what I want and what I need. There's always new palettes that I want, like the Lorac Pro palette or the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, but for now, I am very happy with what I have, and I actually want to try to use up a few of my oldest palettes just so I can enjoy my newer palettes a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to start out with showing you this collection, starting from my oldest palette to my newest purchase. It's one of these 88 palette things. This was a gift from my sister, and it looks like that. It pretty much have every color you could ever possibly want, and this is just, it's kind of a big palette and kind of, you know, not very easy to use. It's not easy to store. So I just usually have it in my dresser and I pull it out whenever I want to try out or have the time to try out a little bit more of a colorful makeup look, because this is the palette where I have the most colors in. The next palette that I have is actually a gift with purchase kind of palette that I got from e.l.f. a few years back. And it was one of these, those e.l.f. Studio Beauty on the Go palettes. So there were 6 eyeshadow palettes in one, sort of. So they came with this little container that you could store. You could store 3 palettes in there, and I've actually used these palettes to bits because they're starting to get really old, and I just want to try to use them up before they get too old. So I have that one, and I have these 2, and then the one that I'm currently using doesn't have a container. So I'm going to show you, this is the one I'm using right now. As you can see, I've used quite a lot of it. I've used up the lip gloss right here. I'm about to hit pan on this beautiful peachy blush. I've hit pan on the other lip gloss and all of these colors, and I've used up that one. So yeah, I do really like these eyeshadows. This one's called Party Perfect. Then in these 2, these are probably my favorite palettes, ones that I keep in these containers. This one's in Shopping Spree, and it looks like that. I've kind of been saving the ones that I really love. It's just so weird that I do that, but, and it also has a mirror on top there. I've hit pan on the two upper eyeshadows here, but yeah, and the other one is Pretty Picnic, and this is also one of my favorites. It's just, it has some beautiful eyeshadows, I think. The 3 I keep in the biggest container are Happy Hour. I've pretty much used up most of this. It just has just some eyeshadows that I don't really love. I'm not that into blue and green eyeshadow. They're just not my favorite. But I've used up absolutely everything else in this palette. And then there's Date Night, which has mostly gray and black eyeshadows, which are also not my favorite. But I did use this around New Year's Eve, January-ish. But I think I'm pretty much done with this one now. I did hit pan on this gorgeous red lip gloss though, or they're kind of like a mix between a lipstick and a lip gloss. And then you have this blush. It either comes with a blush or a bronzer. And the last palette is Beach Retreat, and I've used up one color that I really loved. The other ones are just greens and blues, and like I said, I don't love that. I used up this lip gloss, and I've hit pan on the bronzer, which is beautiful. The next palette is also from e.l.f. It was also a gift with purchase. I would never choose this makeup palette if it was up to me. I am not in love with this palette at all. It is called the Smoky Eye, and it's one of these beauty books that they had for a while. They may be having this still, but I don't think so. I don't think you can get the Beauty on the Go palettes or this one anymore. The eyeshadows fall out. They are super powdery. They don't have much color payoff, and it comes with 3 eyeliners that, of course, they dry out after a month. And it also came with a brightening eyeliner in black, which is terrible. So I do like these colors, but all the other ones are just really bad, I think. I went years of not buying any makeup palettes at all. I do have many like quads and trios and duos and single eyeshadows, which I would love to show you in another video. But when I was in Italy, I think, I'm not sure, I would like to think that I bought this Naked 1 palette from Urban Decay in Italy, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I think everyone on YouTube has this palette, and it is for a good reason, because it has beautiful eyeshadows in it, some great variety and great pigmentation, although it does have a lot of fallout. I think a little bit too much for the price, but it is beautiful. The next eyeshadow palette I bought was the Balm Rockstar palette, or the Balm Jovi, and this was kind of a fun idea. It would probably look something like this if I would make my own makeup palette. It has 12 eyeshadows, all really, really beautiful. It has the Balm Mary Luminizer and the Frat Boy blush, which are both amazing. And then you open up this lid and there's 2 cheek lip colors that are also amazingly beautiful, especially this one. So this is probably like my top 2 favorite makeup palette. It's beautiful, and I got it on one of my trips to Oslo in a store called Visage. Then I have the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, which is also kind of a, you know, something that everyone on YouTube have. It's just some basic colors that everyone should have in their collection if they like to use eyeshadows. And you really could go by with just this eyeshadow palette. So I guess it's great for traveling. It's so small and nice, and it still has a decent mirror there as well. All matte colors except for one. Next, I got these 2 MUA eyeshadow palettes, the Undressed and Undress Me 2. These are supposed to be due for the Naked 1 palette and the Naked 2 palette from Urban Decay. This one comes close to the Naked 1 palette. I don't have the Naked 2 palette, so I can't really tell. But these have both beautiful colors in them, and I really do like them, although you can definitely tell there's a difference in quality. Next up, I got this amazing Inglot palette. This is the 10-pound version. So I basically created this palette myself. I picked these 10 colors out and I'm very happy with the colors that I got. They're surprisingly cheap, thinking that the quality is amazing. People that own MAC and Inglot are saying that they're just as good or almost maybe better than MAC eyeshadows. So if you don't own any Inglot eyeshadows, you should run out and get some because these are amazing. And then the last makeup eyeshadow thing palette that I have are my most recent purchase. It's from the Real Techniques brand and it's the Modern Natural Makeup Kit, and I'm loving this at the moment. It's limited edition, so if you want one of these, hurry up and go get it, or not go online and get it on their website, because I think that's the only place you can get it. So yeah, if I were to choose like top three favorite palettes, this would be number 1. This would probably be number 2. This would be number 3, and just an honorable mention, the Naked Basics palette is just perfect. So I could get by with just these palettes, really, but it's just so much fun to try out some new stuff. But I probably won't be purchasing any new makeup palettes anytime soon. I'm very happy with what I have. So that was my whole entire eyeshadow palette collection. Like I said, if you want to see some of my smaller eyeshadow palettes, feel free to tell me in the comments below. And I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!